What's up, boxing fans? It's King of the Ring TV here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. That way you'll get notifications on anything that I post. Okay, we're going to get into it. It is Caleb Plant and Canelo. So it looks like ESPN has reported and posted saying that Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders, it looks like that Canelo Alvarez finally has a chance to hold the super middleweight belts. Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders have agreed to a title unification bout in May. The Athletic first reported on Thursday. If Alvarez comes out of the bout unscathed, he will return to square off against Sanders in May, according to ESPN. So he will have that title unification on May 8th against Sanders. So Canelo has to fight Avni Yildirim, and then that will be in February the 27th, and then he will fight Billy Joe Saunders on May the 8th. So that'll be a good treat for the Cinco de Mayo day and everything like that, and all the boxing fans. And then back to Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant, he is still pursuing the Canelo fight this year. So he recently came out and said that him and his team purposely set up back-to-back mandatories and stuff like that, so that his schedule can remain open, so he can, have a good camp to get prepared for the Canelo fight. So he was saying that, came out and said that in like an interview, and I knew that Caleb Plant will beat Truex very easily. I already knew that because I seen Caleb's style, the way he fights, and then I seen the way Caleb Truex, the recent opponent that he had fought last Saturday. So I seen the way that he fought, and I just knew that Caleb Plant would outbox him and stuff like that. I knew that. I had a feeling. So, it was a good fight. Caleb, I ain't gonna say anything bad about Caleb Truex, his opponent. But, he did his best, but Caleb Plant came out on top. He came out victorious. So, I just feel like Caleb Plant has good speed and boxing IQ, ring IQ. So, and then if he was to fight with Canelo, because that's who he's preparing for, he could give Canelo some issues. I think like Canelo has his issue is with like boxers that can box and everything like that can sit there and throw shots at him, speed, good, quick, slick boxers. Canelo does have power, and he does move pretty good in the ring. So if he can time Caleb Plant's punches coming when that fight does happen, and move out the way, counter, and give good head movement, and beat him to the punch, that could be a problem for Caleb Plant. But I just feel like Caleb Plant is like pretty calculated. He's calculated, and he's a good boxer, well-rounded boxer. So even though he has 20 fights and Canelo has like 54, he's 54-2. So Canelo has the experience in the ring. So it could be a good fight, man. Could be an upset if they do fight, him and Caleb Plant. So I'm not putting anything past anyone. So it will be a very interesting fight, but I'm leaning towards Caleb Plant, in that fight. Going with the I know he will be an underdog if they was to fight going forward. So, but Caleb Plant and Canelo would be a great fight. And you got guys like David Benavidez talking about Caleb Plant. He's probably going to wait it out till he gets the Canelo fight, which I think that it could be a good thing, and I think that it could be a bad thing at the same time for Caleb Plant to wait it out for the Canelo fight and everything like that. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's a good thing because he can get the training, and he can, now that he got his mandatory out the way, like he said that him and his team had set up, he can, be 100% focused on the Canelo fight. So he can focus on the Canelo fight, study Canelo's tapes or whatever, and get prepared, and don't have to worry about the belt, the belts holders, the owner of the belts coming and telling him, oh, you have to fight this mandatory or whatever, so he can just go into, get his mind prepared for Canelo, because Canelo is a big deal when it comes to fighting, being a boxer in the ring and everything like that. He's a big deal. So, you got to get your mind prepared for that, and he's hasn't been really stopped. The only person that stopped him was Floyd Mayweather. So, and Floyd Mayweather is a defensive wizard. So in the ring, so he's a wizard in the ring. So, Floyd is like one of the best, man, of this time. So, but Canelo, he's like, the face of boxing. But yeah, and then the bad thing though about that, about him waiting, waiting it out for the Canelo fight is Canelo has Avenue in February the 27th, so that's the end of the month, and then he got a February month, and then he got the Billy Joe Saunders fight on May the 8th. So, and then there's no telling how long Canelo, after he fights those guys, there's no telling how long, what will change, if his mind will change, or if he will be, need time to rest. So it could take months for him to fight. You know what I'm saying? Then you sitting there, Caleb Plant will be sitting around waiting for Canelo, and getting ring rust and overtraining, and but it could be bad for it. It could hurt Caleb Plant more than it could help him waiting that long, ring rust and everything like that, and the overtraining. So, and then it could be bad for Canelo to, have those back-to-back fights, but we shall see when the time comes in the future, if that fight was to happen. So I just think Canelo has a lot on his plate right now, and and then the pressure from everyone else, all the boxing fans, and some of the boxers to make the tough fights. So he's got a lot on his plate and a lot on his mind. So I'm very curious how everything will turn out after those fights get done. So yeah, we should see. But Canelo definitely is on the road to undisputed. So he's definitely trying to get those belts, man. Trying to get them up and be the continue to be the face of boxing. But yeah, that should be great for Canelo. And we should see how everything plays out. And Canelo, he gets taken off the ESPN pound for pound list, like the number one spot. So they removed him and put him like third. I think I seen it was like third or fourth. So they got like Terrence Crawford, the first one, and the first number one spot. So I think, Canelo had came out and said something about, his team was saying something about Canelo has accomplished more than Terrence Crawford and everything like that, and I think they were just a little bit upset about how everybody's talking about them, like about the bad competition with fights, and how everybody's, and him getting taken off of the ESPN pound for pound list, number one spot. So I mean, I don't know. Canelo, he needs better competition. I think he will, if he faces Caleb Plant. I think he will get back to that spot, because right now, or maybe it probably will be Billy Joe Saunders. I'm pretty sure they probably will bump him up, because Billy Joe Saunders has a belt, and they'll bump him back up to number one. But Abner Yildirim right now, they wasn't too happy. ESPN wasn't too happy about that fight. So I mean, I'm gonna say Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant. He should be back in the number one spot, but right now I don't see it, because Abner Yildirim, that was his sparring partner. I'm thinking like, why is he fighting his sparring partner? You already know the guy. Are you trying to make sure you don't lose? Because the plan was to fight in Mexico, his hometown, so that he wanted to give his fans a good show. So I guess it looks like, from what I'm looking at, how I'm looking at it, it looks like somebody wanted to make sure that he doesn't lose. Like, it's no chance in the world that he lose and get an upset and let down his people and where he was born at in Mexico and stuff like that. So it kind of looks suspicious there. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. But it looked kind of funny on the outside. But I mean, Canelo can do what he wants, and the boxing world might not like it. We the fans, or people who report on the news, we might not like it, but hey, it's Canelo's career. He can do what he wants. So you don't have to pay for the fight. You can pay for it if you want, support him. But yeah, Canelo's taken off the pound for pound list. So I just think that he do need to get his level of competition up, and fight better fighters, man. Give the fans what they want to see, man. We want to see interesting fights, like good fights, because we pay a lot of money, man. The boxing fans and the people who report on the news and everybody, we pay for a lot. We pay for those fights, man. They don't come cheap. If they on pay-per-view and everything like that, they be $70 and stuff like that, man. That's a lot of money, man, just to watch a fight. So that's like, for us to pay that, that's showing love. We paying you, so we want to see these fights get made, these good fights get made. So, and then Andre Ward, he came out. Andre Ward, that was his weight class, 168. So he's got his eyes set on the 168 weight class, and he came out and said, like, after Caleb Plant had that fight with Caleb Truax, even though that wasn't no good competition fight too. So Caleb Plant's not in the clear too as well. So, but Caleb, because I think, what was it, ESPN, they had said something. No, it was I'm sorry, it was Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn had came out and said something about Caleb Plant needs to get, he pointed it out that Caleb Plant needs to get better competition on his, like, a better resume, a better resume fighters on his resume, so that way, before he fights Canelo. So he was saying that he needs to fight David Benavidez and things like that before he fights Canelo Alvarez. And when you do look at it, okay, Caleb Plant has the skills. He has good skills, right? But he doesn't have his resume. Like, his resume ain't really that strong like Canelo's is. Canelo fought Mayweather. He fought like big top guys. So he's just now kind of fighting people that's not really too. I guess you need a break. So I guess you need a break, because Andre Ward did come out and say that he don't have a problem with Canelo fighting Avni Yildirim, because it's not healthy fighting back-to-back top fighters. It's not healthy. With your career, you'll have a short career, and it does make sense when you think of it like that. You can't just fight back-to-back. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, your career would be short, and then you it's not good for your health. You taking those big punches and stuff like this. So you gotta look at it that way. So Andre Ward do make a lot of sense, because I know he see Canelo getting a lot of pressure and getting attacks about everyone, like the media and stuff like that. So Andre Ward, he also came out. He said something about Caleb Plant being a big problem for anyone at 168. So he was very impressed by what he saw when he fought Caleb Truax. So yeah, he believes that he would be a big problem, that Caleb Plant will be a big problem for anyone in the 68 division. But we shall see, because Caleb Plant, his ring resume is not that strong. So, but he got the skills. From what I saw, he passed the eye test. So Caleb Plant passed the eye test with, how he looks and stuff like that, and how he studies his opponents in the ring when he fights them. But when he get that, like a name like Canelo, then we shall see what he's really made of. Because Canelo going to test him. He will test him. So it should be a good, interesting fight. But I wish he would fight a guy like David Benavidez. But he probably, because David Benavidez been calling him out for a long time. And it's real, like a real rivalry there. It's like bad blood. So, David Benavidez been trying to fight him for a long time. And Caleb Plant, it seemed like he was going to fight him until he lost that belt. Until David Benavidez lost that belt recently. So he became uninterested in that fight and said that David Benavidez already had his chance and stuff like that. So he got to get back in line and wait like the other people who's trying to fight him and everything like that. So he's not really interested in that fight. All he's interested in is the Canelo fight. And 2021 is going to be a good year. I feel like it's going to be a good year. After the corona, we still got the corona, but 2021 is going to be a good year. 2020 was it was a stressful time, man. So I feel like boxing fights will happen this year, man. If they don't, man, it's only hurting boxing. I feel like we need those fights. So, and then, man, we will see, man. But anyways, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe to the channel.